Okay, hello everybody.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola. All right. How is everyone today?
Good.
Bien. Yeah. ¿Cómo están hoy? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. Can you see it?
No.
You can't?
Yeah,
No, I
can.
You really can't, Hannah?
I really can't.
Very good.
Can everyone else can see it?
I can.
Okay, now I can.
Okay.
It just took a while.
Okay. Luke, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Good. All right. I don't know why this thing is here. Can I move it? Ah, there we go. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about conjugation or conjugación. So, ¿qué es el conjugación? What is conjugation? Does anybody know? Well, I'll tell you. Conjugation is when the verb changes to match the subject of the sentence. So, for example, in the verb tener, how would you say I have? How would you say I have, Hannah?
Yo tango.
Yeah. So I is the subject and tango is the verb. So the verb changes depending on who you're talking about. So do we conjugate in English? Why don't you guys quickly put in the chat yes or no? Do you think we conjugate in English? Yes, good job. You guys are right. So we do conjugate in English, but it's just not as obvious as it is in Spanish. So, for example, if we take the word walk, we say I walk, you walk, he or she walks, we walk, and they walk. So the only change really is when we talk about he and she. So it's kind of interesting. In Spanish, we change for all of these though, so it's a little more complicated. So here's a chart, and it shows you the English word and the Spanish words. These are called the pronouns. And here's a sample verb, so comer. So yo como, tú comes, él, ella, usted come, nosotros, nosotras comemos, and ellos, ellas, ustedes comen. So when I say yo como, that means I eat. Tú comes, that's you eat. He, she, or you formal is come. And we is nosotros, nosotras comemos. And they, you all, is comen. So there's two parts here that might be a little confusing. One is you formal. So in English, we don't really have a you informal and you formal, at least how we normally talk. But in the past, there was. And so in a lot of King James English, there still is an informal and formal you. So this is something you guys might be familiar with from the Lord's Prayer. And so it says, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So thy is actually informal you in English. You might not have known that. And if you would say it with formal you, say, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. So we actually do have the same thing as Spanish, but it's just not commonly used. Another thing that might be confusing is singular versus plural you. So here's singular, or here's singular and here's singular. They have two types. And then plural you is ustedes instead of just tú or usted. So normally when you talk to someone, you say, how are you? But what do you say if you're talking to a group of people? How do you say hi to everybody? How do you address them? Gregory, do you know what you would say if you're addressing a group of people?
Are you asking in Spanish? I
Just
want
in
to clarify.
English. How do you say hello to a group of people?
Hello everyone, probably.
Yeah, you could say that. But a lot of times we say like, how are you guys, right?
Yeah.
So we also say like, how are y'all? Like a lot of people in the South say that. And how are you'ns or how are yous? People also say that. So like my uncles and aunts in Maryland often say that. You'ns. All right. So there's 3 types of verbs in Spanish: AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. So let's practice conjugating a word, the verb hablar. So what type of verb is this, Luke? AR, ER, or IR?
AR.
Yes. So how would you say I eat, Luke?
Yo como.
Sorry, yes, you're right. I meant to say, how do you say I talk?
Yo hablo.
Yes, good. Gregory, how would you say you talk?
To wait. It ends in AS, right? If it's you.
Yes, can you see this right here?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So, wait. Did you say talk or?
Yes, right here.
Okay. To hablas.
Yes, to alas. Claire, how would you say she talks?
Ella habla.
Yep. And Hannah, how would you say we talk?
Nosotras hablamos.
Yes. And they talk is hablan. So, all right. Querer. Gregory, what type of a verb is querer? AR, ER, or IR?
AR
No.
or ER. Sorry.
Yeah.
ER.
You got it. And do you know what querer means?
It's like to want.
Yes, to want. So how would you say I want?
Quiero.
Yes, yo quiero. Hannah, how would you say you want?
Tú quieres.
Yes. Claire, how would you say she wants?
Ella quiere.
And Luke, how would you say we want?
Nosotros queremos.
Yes. And you would say they want, ellos quieren. All right, and one last one, vivir. Claire, what type of a verb is this? AR, ER, or IR?
Ir.
IR. So the only difference between the way we do ER and IR verbs is in the we form. So all the rest of them are the same between these 2 except for this one. So Gregory, how do you say I live?
Yo vivo.
Yes. Claire, how do you say you live?
Tú vives.
Hannah, how do you say he lives?
Él vive.
Yes. How, Luke, do you say we live?
Nosotros vivimos.
Yes. And they live is viven. All right. So we're going to practice conjugating a couple random words. So, Hannah, why don't you start? Why don't you pick one of these words, and actually, why don't you conjugate beber? So that means to drink. So using this chart, how do you conjugate beber for all the forms?
Problem. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Bebo, bebos, beba, babe. Wait, just kidding.
Actually, yeah.
Bebo.
Which one is it?
It's R.
ER, yeah.
Bebes, bebe, bebemos, beben.
Yes, good. All right. Gregory, why don't you try abrir? So that means to open. So abrir. Which
Okay.
3 is it?
It's gonna be the abrir. It's IR,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oops. So go through all of these with abrir.
Okay. So, Would it be abrio?
Abro.
Okay. Abro, abres, abre, abrimos, and abren.
Yes.
Abren.
Abren. Good. All right. And let's do, well, I guess there's only 4 of us. We can just go through everyone real quick. Claire, why don't you do leer?
It's an ER verb,
Mm-hmm.
and you would say abrivo. Wait, what's my word again?
Leer. To read.
Okay, leo,
Mm-hmm.
leas, le,
Lay. Mm-hmm.
leos, and lean.
Good. All right, and who hasn't gone? Luke hasn't gone?
Yeah, I haven't gone.
Okay. Luke, why don't you do escuchar? Means to listen.
So it's AR, escucho, escuchas, escucha, escuchamos, and escuchan.
Good. All right. I think you guys got the hang of it. So now I have these 2 charts here, and I want you to pick 3 verbs and write 3 sentences using those words from here. So, for example, you can pick correr and say yo corro, and then pick a word from here, mucho. So I run a lot. So why don't you, does everyone have access to their email? Or actually, we can do it in the chat. That might be easier. Why doesn't everybody write 3 sentences using these words and these words and put them in the chat? Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to do that. Then we'll see where we're at.
Hey, Alena.
Yeah.
Wait. So if you're saying you, is that end with an S or not?
Oh, that's actually a good question. Sorry, everyone pause for a second. I forgot to go over this. So when do you use to and when do you use usted? Does anybody know? Who would you use to with?
Your friends.
Yes, your friends. And who would you use usted with?
You're not friends.
Yeah. So you'd use to with people who you're friends with and you kind of have an informal relationship with, and you use usted with people who are older than you or who are respected. So to answer your question, Gregory, if you're using to, you use es. If you're using usted, you just have it. I'll show you. How do I go back on here? If you're using usted, then you just have an A or an E at the end. So it depends on what you're using. Yeah, good question. Okay, keep going. All right, I think you guys are about done. Do you have yours, Hannah? Did you send yours in? Oh yeah, you did. Okay. All right, I think you guys got it. So I'll give you a sample sentence. So Gregory said, "Yo bebo agua." So what does that mean, Gregory?
I drink water.
Yes. Luke said, "Ellos leen libros." What does that mean, Luke?
They read books.
Good. Hannah said, "Luke lee todos los días." What does that mean, Hannah?
Luke reads every day.
Yes. Good. And Murphy bebe jugo. What does that mean?
Murphy drinks juice.
Yes. And yo corro 12 miles en un día. What does that mean?
I run 12 miles in a day.
Wow. Impressive. All right. Claire said, yo escribo mucho. What does that mean, Claire?
I write much.
Yes.
I write
or a lot. Mm-hmm. And tú lee rápidamente. What does that mean?
You read a lot, or you read
Yes.
fast.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think you guys got it. So I know it's difficult to think about all these conjugations while you're actually talking in Spanish, but it's good to just have them in your head and review them once in a while. And eventually they just become kind of second nature. So, all right. Let's see. Thank you guys for being in my class, and adios.
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 Okay, do I stop this?